in a surprising turn of events that has millions of Americans checking their bank accounts with renewed hope. A brand new round of stimulus payments worth $4,500 is reportedly making its way to seniors, Social Security recipients, and low-income families across the country. The announcement, though initially met with skepticism, has now been confirmed by multiple local and financial aid sources, sparking a wave of excitement among households struggling with rising costs of living. As inflation continues to squeeze wallets and retirement savings dwindle, this unexpected relief package is being hailed as a lifeline for those who have been hit hardest. The payments are part of a targeted economic support initiative designed to ease the financial burden of everyday essentials, from rent and groceries to healthcare and energy bills, especially for seniors on fixed incomes and families surviving paycheck to paycheck. For many, it feels like a long-awaited response to the months of pressure and uncertainty that followed the last round of federal aid. Reports indicate that direct deposits began processing earlier this week, with paper checks expected to follow in the coming days. Recipients are advised to keep an eye on their bank accounts, particularly those registered under Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and low-income benefit programs. According to early data from regional banks and credit unions, thousands have already started receiving notifications of pending deposits marked as federal support payment or economic relief. This has led to an explosion of activity on social media, where countless users are sharing screenshots of their deposits, expressing both gratitude and disbelief. For seniors who've been cutting back on groceries or skipping medications to make ends meet, this $4,500 payment isn't just money. It's a breath of relief and a sign that help hasn't been forgotten. Officials familiar with the rollout explained that the program was designed with precision to target those most in need, using existing benefit databases to fast-track distribution, unlike earlier stimulus rounds that were distributed broadly to all taxpayers. This one zeroes in on low-income individuals and elderly Americans whose financial vulnerability has deepened in the past year. With the cost of essentials soaring, seniors relying solely on Social Security have been among the hardest hit. Many have watched their modest monthly checks stretch thinner than ever, with rent, medical bills, and groceries eating away at every dollar. This new stimulus, therefore, aims to give them a cushion, a way to catch up on overdue bills, or simply enjoy a little peace of mind heading into the colder months. But the rollout hasn't been without confusion. Several recipients have reported uncertainty about eligibility and distribution timelines, while others are worried about scams exploiting the buzz. Experts warn that any messages asking for personal or banking information to verify stimulus eligibility are fraudulent. The payments are automatic and require no application. Those who qualify will receive the funds directly through the same method they use for their Social Security or benefit deposits. To prevent misinformation, officials are encouraging individuals to rely only on verified government announcements and to ignore online offers promising faster payments. Despite this, the anticipation remains sky-high as millions await their deposits with cautious optimism. Economists say this stimulus round could inject billions back into local economies almost overnight, as recipients spend their payments on essential goods and services. Grocery chains, pharmacies, and utility companies are already bracing for a surge in transactions. Financial analysts estimate that each $1,000 of relief could generate up to $1,600 in economic activity, making this a potential short-term boost for communities still recovering from post-pandemic instability. Yet, critics argue that while the payments offer immediate relief, they may not address the deeper structural issues driving financial hardship: stagnant wages, rising healthcare costs, and the widening gap between income and inflation. Still, for millions of seniors and struggling families, this check isn't about economic policy. It's about survival, security, and the simple relief of knowing they can finally exhale. As the news spreads, financial institutions are urging customers to be patient as payment batches continue to roll out through the weekend. For those without direct deposit, checks are expected to arrive by mail within 2 to 3 weeks. Community organizations and local aid groups are stepping in to help seniors understand the process and protect them from scams. Some states are also layering additional assistance on top of the federal payment, offering energy credits or grocery vouchers to supplement the relief. For many households, this combination could mean a rare moment of financial stability heading into the holiday season. And for seniors who've long felt overlooked in the chaos of modern economic policy, it's a reminder that sometimes help does come, even if it takes a little longer than expected. As the $4,500 stimulus payments continue to land in bank accounts, many Americans are eager to know whether they qualify and how soon they can expect their relief. According to federal and state sources, eligibility focuses primarily on seniors, retirees, and low-income families who are already enrolled in specific benefit programs. This includes individuals receiving Social Security SS, Supplemental Security Income SSI, Social Security Disability Insurance SSDI, Veterans Affairs VA benefits, and those who meet income thresholds under federal poverty guidelines. For single individuals, that typically means earning less than $75,000 per year, while for married couples, the cap sits at $150,000. Families with dependents may also receive additional assistance based on household size. The best part? There's no separate application required. Eligible recipients will automatically receive payments via direct deposit, the same way they get their monthly benefits. For those without direct deposit, checks or prepaid debit cards will be mailed to their registered address on file, meaning you won't need to sign up or fill out any forms. Government officials have confirmed that the stimulus rollout will happen in waves over several weeks, with the first group being seniors who receive their Social Security benefits through direct deposit. The second group includes low-income families and individuals who filed taxes in the last 2 years but reported limited income. The final wave covers those relying on mailed checks, which may take a little longer due to postal delays and processing times. To check your payment status, officials recommend visiting the IRS Get My Payment portal or contacting your local Social Security office. However, they've warned against overloading phone lines and instead suggest waiting at least 5 business days after the initial rollout before seeking updates. For most recipients, the payment will simply appear in their accounts with a note referencing Federal Stimulus Credit or Economic Relief Payment. The reaction among recipients has been nothing short of emotional. Seniors across the country have described the deposit as a miracle after months of cutting back on essentials. Many say this payment will allow them to restock their pantries, refill prescriptions, or finally pay overdue utility bills before winter. In one viral social media post, a 72-year-old retiree from Ohio shared a screenshot of her $4,500 deposit, writing, "I cried when I saw it. It means I can heat my home this winter without worrying." Stories like hers have flooded platforms like Facebook and TikTok, with thousands of comments from others expressing relief, gratitude, and cautious optimism. For families on the edge of eviction or facing medical debt, this influx of funds is more than a temporary fix, it's a chance to breathe again. Policymakers have also weighed in, emphasizing that this targeted relief is meant to protect the nation's most vulnerable populations. Lawmakers argue that while the economy has shown signs of recovery, inflation remains a silent threat, eroding the value of fixed incomes and pushing essentials further out of reach. Seniors who've worked their entire lives should not have to choose between food and medication, one official stated during a press conference. Economists have praised the initiative's timing, suggesting that direct payments to lower-income households produce faster and more meaningful economic impact than broader tax credits or business incentives. By channeling funds directly into communities, these payments could help stabilize local economies and reduce short-term financial stress for millions. Despite widespread approval, there's growing debate about whether more rounds of payments could follow. Some lawmakers have hinted that additional stimulus installments may be considered if economic conditions worsen or inflation continues to strain household budgets. Others, however, caution that too much spending could further fuel inflationary pressures. Still, analysts believe the targeted nature of this payment, focused on those in greatest need, strikes a balance between compassion and fiscal responsibility. Meanwhile, Advocacy groups are calling for permanent cost of living adjustments COLA and expanded benefits for seniors to prevent the need for such emergency measures in the future. Financial experts are urging recipients to use the funds wisely. While many will naturally spend the money on necessities, others are encouraged to set aside a portion for emergencies or to pay down high-interest debts. Some banks and community organizations are even offering free financial counseling to help seniors and low-income families make the most of this opportunity. The advice is simple: avoid scams, save what you can, and focus on long-term stability. As the dust settles and the payments continue to roll out, the $4,500 stimulus has become more than just a government check. It's a symbol of resilience. It's proof that, even in uncertain times, collective support can make a tangible difference in people's lives. For seniors who have weathered decades of economic ups and downs, this payment represents more than financial aid. It's acknowledgement. And for families who've struggled quietly through inflation, layoffs, and rising bills, it's a sign that relief, while sometimes delayed, is still possible. The sound of that deposit received notification is echoing across the nation, a reminder that hope, once again, is hitting bank accounts.